In this video, we're going to be looking at direct proportion. So first of all, quick definition. Amounts are said to be directly proportional if, as one amount increases, the other amount increases at the same rate. For instance, the amount of money you earn is directly proportional to how many hours you work. If you work more hours, you get more money. They're in direct proportion. We use this symbol to show things are in proportion, and it's like the Greek letter alpha. We also use a value which is called the constant of proportionality. Commonly this is K, and this is the value that links the two amounts. Now in this video we're going to show how we find K. So first we're reading the question. We're told that Y is proportional to X, so we write it using that fancy symbol, and then we replace the alpha symbol with an equals K. In the question we're given that Y is 40 and X equals 8, so we substitute that into our equation. So 40 equals K times 8. Recognising that K times 8 is 8K, dividing through by 8, and we find that K is equal to 5. We then rewrite our second equation here, replacing K with 5, so Y equals 5X. Put a box around it. That is our equation of proportion. That is the linking equation. Here we've got a second example. Again, reading the question. This time A is proportional to B squared. So we write that using our fancy symbol, replacing that symbol with equals K. We got A equals K B squared. From the question, we're told A is 300 and B is 5. So substitute them into the above equation. We get 300 equals K times 5 squared. Working through, and we find that K is equal to 12. And then we rewrite our equation as A equals 12 B squared and put a box around it, our equation of proportion. Third example. This time, W is proportional to the square root of Q. So we're going to write it out. W is proportional to the square root of Q. W equals K times root Q. In the question, we're told that W is 5 and Q is 36, so substituting those values into it. And we find that the square root of 36 is 6. So this time, 5 equals 6K, dividing through by 6, and we get K as 5, 6. Leaving it as a fraction is much more sensible and generally much easier. And we rewrite it again, W equals 5, 6 times the square root of Q. And put a box around it. Fourth example. This time, we're given that D is proportional to F cubed. So D is proportional to F cubed. D equals K times F cubed. In the question we're told D is 5 and F is 2. So substituting those values into the above equation, and we're told that 5 equals K times 2 cubed. Now 2 cubed is 8. So 5 equals 8K. Divide both sides by 8. And we get K as being 5/8. Again, a fraction. Let's leave it as a fraction. So D equals 5/8 of F cubed. Okay, so we've worked out what our equation of proportion is. How can we use it? Well, here we are. We've got the equation of proportion is Y equals 5X. It says find the value of Y when X is 3.2. So write down the equation of proportion and replace the X with 3.2. Use your calculator, times it out, and we find that Y equals 16. Similarly for the next one, Y equals 5X, but this time we're told what Y is. So we substitute the value for Y, so 17 equals 5X. And just like when we're solving an equation, divide both sides by 5. And we find that X is equal to 17 over 5, which we could work out as a decimal if we wanted to. Okay, here we're told that A equals 12B squared. Find the value of A when B is 2. So write out the equation of proportion, substitute in the value for B. Remembering we're squaring it this time, so 2 squared is 4. And we get an answer of 48. Similarly, we're told a is 49 over 3 this time. So it's a we're substituting in. So 49 over 3 equals 12b squared. Divide both sides by 12 using your calculator, so use the fraction facility. And we find that b squared is 49 over 36. Now to find what b is going to be, we have to square root both sides. So b is equal to 7 over 6. Third example, this time w is 5/6 of the square root of q. Same as before though, write out the equation of proportion. And this time we're told q is 144. So w equals 5/6 times the square root of 144. Well, the square root of 144 is 12. And 5/6 of 12, we can do it on our calculator if we need to, or we can work it through and we find we get an answer of 10. Exactly the same idea for the next question. So this time we write down our equation of proportion. And this time we're given w is 15 over 2. So we replace it, use the fraction facility. So 15 over 2 equals 5/6 times the square root of q. Now, this time we're going to divide both sides by 5/6. And again, our calculator will do this for us. So let's make it easy for ourselves. This would then leave me with the square root of q on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side, it turns out to be 9. Now, if the square root of q is 9, to find what q is going to be, we square it. And we get a value of 81. And our final example, this time, d is equal to 5/8 of f cubed. So we write that down first of all. And the question tells us that this time find d when f equals 2. So we replace the value of f with 2. So d is equal to 5/8 times 2 cubed. So it's 5/8 times 8 because 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. And 5/8 of 8 actually is 5. So d equals 5. And to find f when d is 0.04, so d is 5/8 of f cubed, substitute our value of d into it, so 0.04 equals 5/8 of f cubed. Divide both sides by 5/8 using our calculator, using the fraction button on there. And that will give me with leave me with f cubed is going to equal 0.064. Now to find what f is going to be here, we have to cube root 0.064. And the cube root of 0.064 is 0.4. So every time we're doing this, we're doing more or less the same thing.